1. In your quest for success, you might lose many things, but you must never lose your focus. Life is an endless game of distractions falling over themselves to attract you, and what you allow into your space grows. There are many things that take our attention away from the important things these days, and this makes our work sloppy and full of mistakes. How well you pay attention determines just how successful you will be at a certain task. In a world that suffers from attention deficit, learning to keep your mind on your tasks will certainly make a difference for you. It just might be the difference between a win and a loss. Once you're able to channel your energy into doing the things that will bring you success, you are one step closer to achieving your dreams. It's not the chatter of people around us that is the most powerful distractor, but rather the chatter of our own minds. Utter concentration demands these inner voices be stilled. Start to subtract sevens successively from 100, and you will keep your focus on the task. Your chatter zone goes quiet. Daniel Goleman. This tidbit identifies all the mistakes you keep making, debunks the many myths about focus, and offers tips on how to increase your attention span while working toward your life's goals. Keep reading to find out why focus can be the one reason you break all the barriers you never even knew existed. Chapter 2. The world is full of distractions, and the only way to thrive is to ignore them. The science of attention has found more importance as the years go by. There are now more texts to reply, more calls to return, and more games to win. Poor attention skills have been shown to produce poor results because the less attention you pay to the important things, the more distracted you are. Attention, like a muscle, needs to be exercised regularly. If not, it withers. Some basic mental operations that are involved when we pay attention are comprehension, memory, learning, reading emotions, smooth interaction. Attention is an underrated asset in navigating through life, and a well-lived life demands the proper use of these kinds of focus. Inner focus. This attunes us to our intuitions, guiding values and better decisions. Other focus. This smooths our connections to other people in our lives. Outer focus. This helps us cope in the larger world. When you find a balance, you'll gain more satisfaction from life. Attention connects you to the world and defines the type of experience you get from every encounter. With the current advancements in technology and the widespread use of phones and other gadgets, there is a low attention span and a major disruption in human interaction. This is alarming because emotional and social learning occurs through contact and interaction. Information consumes the attention of its recipients. Hence, a wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. Herbert Simon. Human interactions demand joint attention from all the parties involved, which means wading through all the distractions that come your way. This is no easy feat, as it gets harder by the day for people to leave their phones and other gadgets alone for even a short while. There's the urge to check messages and view notifications at the detriment of their jobs or education. This hampers efficiency and leads to terrible mistakes. Did you know? Around 8% of American gamers between ages 8 and 18 meet the psychiatric diagnosis for addiction. Chapter 3. A good way to keep your attention flow active is to switch up on routines and do the things you love. Distractions can be of two varieties. Sensory distraction. This distraction is easy to notice. Emotional distraction. It is loaded with signals that are harder to ignore and affects attention reflexively. The emotional distraction is the biggest distraction for even those who are very focused. Sometimes, when a distracting thought occurs, it helps you think through difficult moments. The dividing line between productive reflection and fruitless thinking lies in the outcome of both. If it produces a solution, then it is productive. Attention is a limited capacity, and the more your focus is disrupted, the more mistakes you are likely to make. The best way to remain in a chosen course is to pay strong, selective attention. Many times, what we need to keep our focus going is a flow of attention which can only be obtained while you do the things that you love. The pleasure you get from these activities is important fuel for the flow. If you discover that what you're doing doesn't give you enough push to do more, you could change jobs to something that challenges your creativity and abilities. This ensures you turn your full focus to what makes you a better person. 19th century French mathematicians Henri Poincaré and Carl Gauss both experienced sudden insight in their research after years of searching for a solution. This shows how the brain is capable of bringing something to your attention when something unexpected happens. When you pay voluntary attention, make choices, and exercise willpower, it is the top-down mind at work. But reflexive action, impulse, and habit are functions of the bottom-up mind. It is easy to get overwhelmed with activities. When this happens, there's an overload of attention, and this shrinks mental control. The stress makes us forget the things we ordinarily would know. Researchers have linked the high use of technological gadgets to obesity, as mental control is low. This happens because the user's attention is captured by a lot of other factors. This leads to impulsive living. On the other hand, people also do things without a proper plan or preparation many times because there is already a routine. Living like this only makes you miss the moment and opportunities as they come. Chapter 4. The difference between success and failure lies in your ability to control your wandering mind. Attention is not the only way to achieve set goals or solve problems. Many times it is necessary for the mind to wander. That is, it could be a positive thing. It is impossible to control how often your mind wanders, but it is possible to seize any opportunity to wander toward your goals. Mind wandering promotes creativity and makes room for insights. Many times when we daydream or allow the mind to wander, we are exploring 3 stages of focus. Orienting. In this stage, you search out and immerse yourself in different kinds of input. Selective attention. Here, there's a focus on one specific challenge. Open awareness. In this stage, there's free association to let the solution emerge. At any given time, there are so many ideas and possible solutions the mind can think up, but this is not likely to happen if you're too focused or even too distracted to notice insights. But amid the din and distraction of work life, poor listening has become an epidemic. Daniel Goleman. Allowing your mind to wander in a safe place is also an important factor that determines how creative your thoughts will be. However, a constant wandering of the mind, especially when there's a task at hand, can be a reason for foul mood and unhappiness. Many times when we're away from a focused activity, the mind wanders even farther to the default zone where you begin to see yourself as lacking in different areas of life. Catching a wandering mind is difficult, even when you are determined to, because it is not easy to notice the mind has wandered. To be able to control mind wandering, there's a need for panoramic awareness, the practice of staying in the present, which leads you to attend to issues as they arise, hence decreasing wandering such that it only occurs when you want it to. Although it takes a lot of effort for the mind to focus on a task, with practice, it is possible. Just like a muscle, it is possible for the mind to get tense and fatigued, especially when you push it to the point of cognitive exhaustion. There's a need to take a break, unplug, and relax the mind when making a deliberate switch from effortful to effortless attention. Chapter 5. All the things you do not know about yourself are the reasons you are not where you want to be. The ability to believe in your values even when things are not going right is an important skill in life. Self-awareness means you understand yourself. You can make sense of your feelings and bodily cues. Knowing yourself is the key to managing yourself. There are 2 major streams of self-awareness: Me. This builds narratives about the past and the future. It links experiences. I belongs to the present moment. It isn't enough to be self-aware or to see yourself in a positive light. The way others see you also offers a valid evaluation of your true self, because not everyone will view you in the same way you view yourself. The gap between how other people view you and your own opinion about yourself is the real you. The different opinions that people have of themselves and each other informs decisions that are made in a group. This diversity in opinions makes decisions better. A lot of things constantly battle for your attention, but they don't all deserve it. Choose the important things and stick to them. One important tool in self-management is the ability to selectively pay attention to important issues and ignore the others. The level of attention you pay regulates your emotions at every given time. Focus holds the key to willpower and is responsible for the choices we make, whether or not you will make that investment or walk up to that other person you've liked for years. Many times, your willpower is the reason you choose to do some activities and leave others. When this happens, the following occurs: voluntary disengagement from a powerful stimulus, strong resistance to the stimulus, focus on future goal. Most times, there is the fear that things will not turn out great. The ability to quickly notice and douse this fear by renewing focus on the goal depends on how self-aware you are. At every point, the selective attention and open attention fight for your focus. Staying in either extreme makes it difficult to remain self-aware. Memorization and concentration work the attention muscle and improve your ability to focus, but there is no guarantee that the focus stays glued to that spot. The ability to bring back your wandering attention is an indispensable skill. Chapter 6. In life's journey, you need other people, and they need to know that you understand them. Being able to read emotional cues that others show is a great way to understand them. However, it can also be a major cause of issues in human relationships if not properly handled. If someone tells you that they feel a certain way, it is important to put yourself in their shoes and try to understand them before passing judgment. This is how you strengthen relationships. The ability to understand emotional signals that others let on is the height of cognitive empathy. While it is important to understand others, it is also important to empathize and act on all the nonverbal cues they show. An important way to ensure you do things that not only puts people at ease but tries to solve their problems is to be sensitive to your environment. There is a need to study your environment and culture regularly to be properly attuned and to avoid mistakes. One thing may be acceptable in one country, but regarded as a faux pas in another. You need to be sure that your seemingly good intentions do not become offensive to those who do not understand them. Throughout life, systems exist, and they do not go away just because you are not aware of them. Things do not just happen on their own accord, but are caused by other pre-existing systems. The future is unpredictable, but you can take each moment as it comes and make it count. Chapter 7. Old tricks do not produce new results. You need to figure out what you're doing wrong and fix it. The myth of practicing for 10,000 hours to become a professional in a particular field has been spread for so many generations that it has become the focus of every amateur. Unfortunately, this is not completely true. If you repeat the wrong thing for 10,000 hours, you will only get proficient at doing the wrong thing. Hours of practice are necessary for great performance, but definitely not sufficient. The difference between mediocre and great performances is the level of attention you pay while practicing. A great way to assess how well you are performing is to have feedback from family, friends, or even a mirror. This points out the error in your practice and informs you of the areas you need improvement. Sometimes, even when you focus your attention on doing that one thing you want to be perfect in, you can get tired. At this point, you need rest because you can only perform optimally when you have full concentration. As it is obvious in almost every setting, phones have replaced human interaction. Everything you need can be found online, and to a large extent, this is really beneficial to us. But in the long run, this makes the brain lazy as there is no connection that face-to-face interaction brings. Developed countries of the world have adopted the social emotional learning program in their schools to teach students how to be present in conversations and real-life situations while improving their self-control and health. Chapter 8. Successful leadership requires that you expand your horizons and go the extra mile. Attention at work has a limited capacity as there are different stimuli to deal with at the same time. So, the focus is only on the things that have meaning. Good leadership depends on the following: the ability to focus your own attention, the ability to attract and direct the attention of others, getting and keeping the attention of others. To be able to achieve these, you need to think differently from how others would likely think by seeking new information while exploring undiscovered grounds. Your level of self-awareness also determines how well you can manage yourself, your emotional health, and how you deal with others. This in turn determines just how much influence you will have on others. Having a high IQ does not automatically make you a leader. Rather, self-discipline, empathy, and your ability to persuade others are the qualities people want to see in their chosen leader. Being a leader also requires balance. There are so many things to do at the same time, you need to find a middle ground. This requires constant focus. Some ideas that will enable you to connect better with others are: listen to your inner voice, coach others, show them concern, pay attention to others, listen to them and be empathetic, listen to advice from others because you don't know it all, celebrate the wins of others. This is a good source of encouragement. Create a warm environment for yourself and others by encouraging freedom of expression. Great leaders do not settle for systems just because they met them. They make changes that are beneficial to the public. For you to effectively lead others, think of the things that will include more people in the future and give them a voice even while working on the present goals. The key is to dream big while still living in the present because people are depending on your abilities. Conclusion. Extraordinary results only come when you make a move that's way above average. Be the person who pays attention to the little things, the one who doesn't relent until they find out what to do about a problem. This is how you achieve success, by staying focused. Be emotionally resilient. Many things will upset you, but you have to be able to bounce back quickly and restore focus on what truly counts. Emotional resilience activates your prefrontal cortex so that you can think clearly and make logical decisions. These logical decisions form the bedrock of your life and can create room for more success. Allow your mind to wander occasionally to prevent mental fatigue. Effectiveness reduces when you suffer from cognitive exhaustion. Take a walk, drink water, and do something you enjoy. When you do activities that you enjoy, you enter into a flow state. This state helps you think better, and it is in this diffuse mode of thinking that we make new discoveries. Daydreaming incubates creative discovery. Daniel Goleman. Success doesn't come easy, but the journey can be worthwhile if you focus on doing the things that you love and thinking beyond the present as a leader, student, or even a parent. Nothing lasts forever. It is up to you to paint the picture of who you want to be and work toward it. Paying attention will help you achieve your dreams and can change your life in more ways than you can dare to imagine. Try this. Feedback is important in order to make the right changes in your routine. Request feedback from family or friends regarding an activity you are passionate about and focus on making the necessary changes.